I really worry a lot about the 21st century Luddites out there who basically think this is a job destroying innovation. It's a standard of living destroying innovation, and I think all of that is completely wrong and dangerous to even contemplate. If you look at the history of the world, the only way that standards of living have improved is by technological innovation. I used the example of farmers. We used to have 50% of Americans working on farms 120, 30 years ago. There are now 2% of Americans working on farms, and we're producing more agricultural products than we've ever produced. And that other 48% moved into the cities and took initially factory jobs and now office jobs and have a much higher standard of living than if they'd stayed on the farms in the first place. And I could give you 100 examples through history of that happening. I can give you 0 examples, and I would defy anyone else to give you an example of a technological innovation that has made people worse off. Yes, there's disruption. Yes, some people do have to change jobs, and there's a role for government in facilitating those changes and cushioning the impact of those changes. But you're not going to find an example in history of a technological innovation that improved productivity that didn't eventually, one way or another, improve standards of living for broad groups of citizens. The conversations are incredibly important. I don't engage in them very much because they're above my pay grade. It's not my area of expertise. I'm an economic guy. I happen to have had dinner last night with someone who's deeply involved with OpenAI, the company, and we started talking to me. There are so complicated copyright issues and fair use issues and this and that and the other thing. And these are really important questions that we don't have all the answers to yet because this is a very new thing. And so I'm completely supportive of figuring out what the rules of the road should be for AI and how it should be used. And of course, you have the existential threat that people worry about, which I can't say is completely ridiculous. AI goes and runs amok and sets off a nuclear war. Who knows? And we have to do absolutely everything necessary to prevent any of these things from becoming a problem. I don't get into them not because I don't think they're problems or challenges, but because other people have. I can't solve those problems. That's not my area of expertise.